students, welcome to our channel Education for Life. So in the previous class we saw about nutrition, nutrition in autotrophs and heterotrophs. So we'll be specifically saying today nutrition in human beings, how the body absorbs the food nutrition which you intake on your daily basis. So the system which helps in this process, that is to absorb the nutrition from the food, is going to be your digestive system. So in today's class we will be learning about what is digestive system and what are the various structure and function of the digestive system. Okay, so digestive system, what does the digestive system do? So digestive system helps us to break the food, that is the food which you intake is going to be in large molecules. Okay, so the food you eat, it must be broken into small molecules. Okay, and this is done by passing through this system called as digestive system, and the process is called as digestion. Okay, so the digestion system or digestive system, it is responsible for the following process. First step in digestion, you can say it as ingestion of food. Ingestion of food means intake of food. Second thing, after you intake the food via your mouth, then it goes via the esophagus to the stomach, where the digestion of the food will take place. That is the second step. After the food is digested, the third thing which happens is the absorption of food. That is the nutrients which is going to be present in the food, it is being absorbed. Okay, and it is done in the small intestine. After absorption, the unwanted material which is not required, that is ejected. That is called as egestion. So egestion is the elimination of food. Okay, that is unwanted waste product, right? So the digestive system can be divided into two parts mainly. Okay, one is going to be digestive organs and other is called as accessory organ. Accessory organ which is going to be present additional to this digestive organ. So when you see the digestive organ, you can see the first comes your mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, followed by small intestine and large intestine. So these are called as digestive organs. Accessory organs are the salivary gland which is going to secrete some liquid substance which is called as saliva. Followed by that there is liver. Liver is your largest gland in your body and it secretes bile juice, and pancreas is also going to secrete some pancreatic juices. Okay, so digestive system has been classified into digestive organ and accessory organ. So moving on, next, first we will be studying about mouth. So you can see that the mouth consists of these following things. So mouth is the beginning of the digestive tract. So mouth is the first part or the step where the digestion starts. So the mouth consists of what all parts? The mouth is consisting of teeth, salivary glands and tongue. So why you have teeth? The teeth basically helps us to grind the food. Okay, it helps us to break the larger molecules into smaller molecules of food. Okay, so there are different types of teeth like incisor, canine, molars and premolars. Then followed by that there is something called as salivary glands. So in your mouth you have 3 pairs of salivary glands which will produce a secretion called as saliva in your mouth. Followed by that you have a long organ, that is a muscular organ, that is your tongue. So tongue helps in one thing, it helps the food to push into your esophagus. Okay, then the other thing is it helps in the mixing of saliva with your food. Okay, so the mouth is going to be the beginning of digestive tract and it is also called as oral cavity. So it is consisting of teeth, salivary glands and tongue. After mouth we'll specifically see about the glands. So salivary glands, there is, as I said, it is going to be 3 pairs of salivary glands. So the 3 pairs is going to be the parotid, then sublingual and submandibular. Okay, so these are the 3 pairs of salivary gland which is seen in your mouth. Then now we will see about the what does that saliva consist of. So saliva is going to consist of, first thing is mucus. So when you see your mouth is always kept moist, okay, it is due to this mucus secretion. So it acts as a lubricant because the food has to be pushed from the mouth to the esophagus. So when there is a lubrication, it is done very easily. Then the saliva consists of a very important thing called as salivary amylase. This enzyme, that is amylase, it initiates the first thing, that is digestion of starch. So in the mouth itself, the digestion of starch starts. Okay. Apart from that, there is something called as lingual lipase. So lipase, it helps in the digestion of fats. So then you are having electrolytes, that is sodium, potassium, bicarbonates, and all helps in the moisturing of the food. Then you will be having proteins and enzymes like lysosome, then histamine. So these are going to act as an antimicrobial action. Antimicrobial action means that if there is some bacteria or some microbes which is going to be present in the food, so this lysosome will kill that bacteria, right? So what is the function of saliva then? It helps in lubrication. It is going to be an antimicrobial in action, helps in mucus integrity, maintaining the mucosa integrity. Apart from that, it maintains buffer capacity and remineralization. Then it helps the mouth to prepare for swallowing. Okay, due to the mucus secretion, it helps in the swallowing of the food. Then comes digestion, because I said digestion of starch takes place in the mouth and the fats. Then it helps in taste and phonation. Phonation means the speech. So saliva helps in also the speech. Okay. So next, after the oral cavity, the next thing which comes is your esophagus. Okay, so esophagus is going to be a long tube. Okay, this tube is going to be seen near the windpipe. Okay, that is your trachea. So trachea and digestive tract, that is your esophagus, is going to be lying side by side. Okay, so it receives the food from which thing? It is going to receive the food from the mouth when you swallow it. So when you swallow the food, it is going to go into a tube that is called as esophagus. Okay, then so sometimes when you talk and eat, you get hiccups, or you sometimes the food, there is a chance where the food can get inside your windpipe and it can choke. So for preventing that, there is going to be a flap like structure which is going to cover the windpipe, and it is called as epiglottis. So epiglottis is a flap like structure, and where it is seen in the windpipe. Then how is the movement of food taking place in the esophagus? So the esophagus, the muscles of the esophagus helps, it contracts. When it contracts, as you see in the diagram, when it contracts, what happens is it will push the food forward. Okay, and by this, the series of muscular contraction within the esophagus, that process is called as peristalsis. Okay, so that is muscular contraction within the esophagus is called as peristalsis, and via this peristalsis movement, the food is delivered into your stomach from the mouth. Okay, so the next part is going to be your stomach. So stomach is a place where the partially digested food from the esophagus will enter the stomach. So the stomach is going to be a large hollow organ. You can say it is a J-shaped organ. Okay, so the main function of the stomach is for digestion, and it stores the food. Okay, this allows you to go many hours between the meals, so when you don't feel hungry all the time. So because the stomach stores the food you eat, you don't feel hungry all the time. Okay, so our adult stomach can hold about 2 liters of food and liquid. Okay, so this stomach is going to secrete something called as gastric juices or gastric secretion. So gastric means it is going to be linked with stomach. So gastric juice is a mixture of what all things? Water, HCl, electrolytes and organic substance. Okay, so the 90 to 97 to 99% of the gastric juice is made up of water. Okay, then others are going to be the mucin enzymes and the inorganic salt. So example of this is, one example is pepsin. Okay, one of the gastric juice which is secreted by the stomach is pepsin. So now let's see what is the function of these gastric juice. Okay, so it contains hydrochloric acid, so it is antiseptic. So as you know that our stomach is going to secrete hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. So HCl is going to be an antiseptic for the stomach. So due to the acidic nature of the stomach, there is an enzyme called as pepsinogen. So that pepsinogen gets activated in the acidic medium to form pepsin, and this pepsin helps in the digestion of protein. Okay, so digestion of some lipids and carbohydrates is achieved by this gastric juices. Okay, apart from that, it is going to help in the absorption of extrinsic factors and helps in hemopoiesis. Then the last thing, it helps to form chyme. So after the food which gets digested in the stomach, that product is called as chyme. Then function of HCl. So as I said, HCl is going to be antiseptic. It is going to activate the pepsinogen into pepsin, which is going to help in the protein digestion. So apart from that, it helps in hydrolysis of food substance like cane sugar. Next, moving on, next after the stomach, the food is going to be passed through an intestine. So first comes the small intestine. So small intestine is going to be the longest section of the alimentary canal. Okay, it is a major organ for digestion and absorption. The complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine, and all the nutrients are absorbed in the small intestine. So small intestine is a place, as I said, where complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fat takes place. So small intestine, there are various secretions. So as I said, the accessory organs, that is going to be your liver, pancreas and intestinal juices. So the liver is going to secrete something called as bile. So bile helps in the emulsification. Emulsification means to break the fats into smaller particles and help in the digestion of fats. Okay. Pancreas is going to secrete two pancreatic juices. One is trypsin. So trypsin is going to help in digestion of protein. Then lipase. Lipase is going to help in emulsification of fats. Okay. Apart from that, you have intestinal juices which helps in the conversion of protein into amino acid. Okay, so the protein is broken down into its molecular form, that is going to be amino acid. Then carbohydrate will be broken down into glucose, and fat is going to broken down into fatty acid and glycerol. So now by this, all the protein, carbohydrates and fats gets digested. So after digestion, it has to be absorbed in the small intestine. So the lining of the small intestine have a finger-like projection called as villi. So they are going to be microscopic finger-like projection. Okay, so they are present on the surface area of the small intestine. Okay, so they will increase the surface area. Thereby, when they increase the surface area, there is going to be more amount of absorption of nutrients. Okay, so villi are going to be the microscopic finger-like projection. Moving on, next is the final part. Now digestion is completed, absorption is done. So large intestine or colon. So large is though it is name is large intestine, small intestine is the largest intestine. Okay, so main function of large intestine is to absorb the water. Okay, whatever the food is contained, water content is absorbed by our large intestine and then passes the useless material from the body. So it is going to remove the unwanted material from the body. So larger in diameter is going to be larger in diameter but smaller than the small intestine. So large intestine in the size it is going to be smaller than the small intestine. So function of large intestine, it is going to be completion of nutrient absorption, especially water. Finally they are going to absorb the water from the food, right? Then apart from that, it is going to maintain a normal flora manufacture, that is going to have a B complex and K. So when you see the large intestine, there is some bacterial flora, that is some bacteria which is growing naturally in your body. So that helps in maintaining the it is maintained by a vitamin B complex and K. Then formation and explanation of fecus. Then after the large intestine, the fecus is removed via the large intestine. So this was all about the digestive system. In the next class, we will be learning about the respiratory system. And the answer for the riddle which I asked in the previous video was eye. Okay, the eyes of our body is the answer. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel Education for Life. Thank you.